You know how sometimes you see a headline and it just grabs you? It feels less like a title and more like a promise. Well, today we're going to break down a really powerful one. It's this idea for building wealth that lays out an entire journey all in just one sentence. So let's dive in and figure out what makes it so dang compelling. And here it is. I mean, on the surface, okay, it looks like the title of some guide, but it's so much more than that, right? This one sentence is a huge promise. It tells you where you start, where you're going, and that there's a path to get you there. It's ambitious, yeah, but it's also super specific. And it's all designed to make you think, hey, maybe I can actually do this. So what's actually packed inside this one little statement? Well, to figure that out, we're going to take it apart piece by piece. We'll look at the goal, the starting point, the specific setting, and the method it's talking about. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll see why this phrase is pretty much a masterclass in getting people motivated about their money. All right, first things first, let's talk about the destination. I mean, every journey has to have one, right? And this roadmap is crystal clear about where it wants you to end up. $10,000. Look, this is not just some random number pulled out of a hat. It's what you'd call a psychological anchor. It's big enough to be seriously life-changing for a lot of people. We're talking about a down payment, maybe a new car, or just a huge boost to your savings. It feels real. You can actually picture what you do with it. And that's where the magic is, really. It hits this perfect sweet spot. $1 million, that can feel like trying to climb Mount Everest in flip-flops, just impossible. But 10,000? Okay, that's a steep hill for sure. But it's a hill where you can actually see the top. It gets you excited without scaring you off. It's the kind of goal that makes you want to take that first step, because you can genuinely imagine yourself getting there. Okay, so we've got our destination locked in, but every journey needs a starting line. And honestly, this next part is where the whole promise becomes incredibly powerful and, for everyone. From $0. Just let that sink in. This might be the single most powerful part of this whole idea. It's not saying you need $1,000 to get started, or even $100. Nope. It's saying the only thing you actually need is to decide to start. It just completely vaporizes the number one excuse that pretty much all of us use. I just don't have enough money to get into investing. And this is where you see how those two things, the start and the finish, just work together perfectly. The $0 part, that tears down the biggest wall, right? It makes the whole thing open to anybody. And then the $10,000 goal, that's the shiny beacon on the hill that gives you the motivation to actually start walking and keep going. It's this beautiful combination of being easy to start but exciting to finish. Okay, so we've got our starting point and our destination. But the promise has another really, really important piece: the context. This isn't just some generic plan you find online. It's a roadmap specifically for investing from Ghana. And that detail, it changes everything. Generic financial advice almost never works because where you are matters. A real roadmap for Ghana has to answer some super important local questions, like what are the best stocks or bonds to look at right here? How do the rules from the Bank of Ghana change what you can and can't do? How can you use something huge like mobile money as part of your investment plan? See, this local stuff isn't just a minor detail. It's the entire foundation for a plan that has a real shot at succeeding. And that brings us to the final piece of this whole puzzle. We've got the why, that $10,000 goal. We've got the where from, starting at 0. But what about the how? How do you actually do it? Well, the promise answers that too, with just a few simple words: a step-by-step roadmap. Now, a roadmap isn't just a list of tips or some vague idea. No way. It means there's a structure, there's clarity, there's a clear sequence of things you need to do. It's basically the exact opposite of feeling lost and overwhelmed. It's a promise to take all the guesswork out of it and just guide you from one step to the next. And what's so cool is when you lay it all out, you realize the whole game plan was hidden inside that original promise the whole time. You've got 1, set the goal, your $10,000. 2, assess the start. That's your $0. 3, understand the context. That's the Ghana part. And 4, follow the plan, the roadmap itself. These 4 things aren't just random words in a title. They are the absolute pillars of any financial journey that's going to work. So there you have it. We've taken this one powerful sentence and unpacked all the genius that's hiding inside. It's way more than just a headline, isn't it? It's like a whole philosophy for actually hitting a financial goal.
The big takeaway here is that the real power of this idea is that it's a complete package. It calms your fears by letting you start at zero. It gives you a clear target to aim for with that tangible goal. It keeps you grounded in the real world with a specific context. And it gives you the confidence to actually start because it promises a clear path to follow.
So we've broken down the architecture of this incredible promise. We've seen exactly why it's so effective. And that means the final question isn't about some other person's roadmap. It's about yours. Now that you have this framework, what's the very first, tiniest step you can take, like right now, today, to start drawing your own map?